Hello, everyone. Let me start with a quick question. When was the last time you wanted to connect with people nearby, maybe for a local event, or a lost pet, or just sharing something happening right now in your local area, but you didn't know who to message? The truth is, our current tools like WhatsApp or Telegram or Facebook groups doesn't solve this problem well. They're built around contacts, not location. You need phone numbers, group invites, and you can often be excluded from these events. And then you're stuck in chat rooms full of old and irrelevant messages in WhatsApp groups and Telegram groups filled with spams of messages from all across your community. The problem creates is a lack of a unified platform for local real-time communication. Say it's a farmer's market nearby or a power outage in your neighborhood. How could you tell people around you? How could you know if people are facing the same issue? Social media? No, that's too broad of an algorithm. WhatsApp groups? Only if you're already in one or if you're already invited. And they often become very spammy and very noisy very soon. So communities end up disconnected when they need connection the most, which means that communities and local communities as a whole doesn't have the ability to communicate with each other, communicate about each other's problems in a proper manner. Also, this extends to much more greater issues, like local issues such as land disputes, or local issues where you need help from your community, but you're simply too awkward or embarrassed to post about it publicly online. You lack an anonymous platform that necessarily helps you post about your concerns about your community on a proper platform. The solution we present to you is LocalLoop, a location-based messaging platform. Here's how it works. You open LocalLoop and you see a feed of messages from people nearby. You can post updates, ask questions, or share news. This requires no phone number, no invites, and it is available for everybody within the radius specified in the application. People can reply and even start nested discussions, just like a mini community thread. This is quite similar to the sort of operations that you see in Reddit. But unlike in Reddit, you don't necessarily need a user login or a user authentication, and your details are not being stored anywhere. And here's the key. Messages disappear after 48 hours. No clutter or no outdated information. It's like a real-time bulletin board for your neighborhood. So why exactly does local loop stand out from other things such as WhatsApp groups or Facebook groups? First, local loop is location first and not contact first. Second, no personal information or none of your information is being shared on the list. Your privacy matters. Third, the content always stays fresh and relevant. This necessarily means that old, outdated content that might be weeks or months or days old will not be coming up on your feed due to the automatic response system where we have that all messages will be deleted or refreshed off your feed within 48 hours, which means that you'll be safe from information that is already fresh, which is not fresh, and which is irrelevant. And finally, threaded replies, which makes the conversation more organized, unlike messy group chats. So let's take a look at what exactly the use cases of local loop is. It shares local events in real time, hosts neighborhood alerts like power outages or traffic jams, lost or found pets or items. Local businesses can share time-sensitive deals, such as things that come community first, and even emergency coordinations in crisis situations. It's all about making hyperlocal communication fast, easy, and relevant. We built this on a Ballerina-based backend, which means clean APIs, great scalability, strong privacy. Looking ahead, we plan to add geofencing for precise targeting, a map-based view so you can see posts by location, which has already been implemented in a textual manner, and a smart spam prevention, which has already been implemented by making sure a single IP address cannot spam messages over and over again. Eventually, local loop can become a platform for local businesses to connect directly with customers in real time, which is an easier this thing to sort of implement. It's more than enough. It's a way to turn your neighborhood into a connected community. Now, let's take a look at how our app works. A quick demonstration on what our app looks like. This is our front end that we made using the IPL. So this is the initial thing that you would see if you're within the geofence location cell. So now, as you can see, we are posting a message onto local loop, which will be visible to neighbors within the specified region. And as you can see, our user tester is from the Mathura district, which means she necessarily posts a message about being in Matharan. And now, as you can see, the nearby messages on the nearby messages box below, you get the date, time it was posted, and necessarily where exactly the message was posted from, and what distance it is away from you as well. Why is this important? I mean, this is important because necessarily when you see a post, when someone's posting something about, let's say, a farmer's market or a new deal, it necessarily helps you identify as to how far you are away from the event that is happening, which means that you have a better idea of your local community and everything involved. And as you can see here, there's a similar community thread or a thread related to that new this thing where we necessarily reply to this thing. You have nested replies to necessarily see what exactly the thread looks like. This necessarily allows to people to have active conversations and a forum-like environment that is quite similar to what you have on Reddit, but much more anonymized and much more privatized. The key benefit that we have here is that there is anonymity that is the biggest concern in most cases. Because in communities like in Sri Lanka, we often see situations where local communities are afraid to bring up their concerns due to privacy concerns and due to concerns regarding their user profiles. This involves things that can be involves things that can be involved as such as land disputes, things such as land disputes, and things such as asking for help in crisis situations, which are often deemed taboo in Sri Lankan environments. This allows you to sort of post your issue in a much more anonymous way so that you can bring your concerns into the local environment, and you can necessarily bring it into this. Our front end was done using a React.js, and as you can see, we can necessarily toggle the theme to a light and dark mode too. So, as all in all, what we give to you today is a comprehensive application that promotes hyperlocality, that allows the user to necessarily post things within their local communities to spread local awareness on multiple. And as we can see, it supports multiple things. And depending on your location, you are allowed to necessarily you're allowed to necessarily access and take part in these forums. So this is a test run. So as we can see, we have tested the timer for only a few seconds here, but in the real world implementation, it can be implemented in a way where 48 hours the forums get erased from your this thing, so that in a way that it gets much more so in a way that your feed remains much more cleaner and you're not given outdated information. So all in all, LocalLoop is more than an app. It's a way to turn neighborhoods into connected communities without friction or noise. We believe this is the future of local communication: fast, private, and relevant. Thank you.